What's going on, YouTubers, gamers, and fellow hobbyists out there? Welcome to On the Beach. Repeat the series that you put on in the background whilst you hobby or paint along with me. This is the series where we get stuff done, make the most, hopefully, of our hobby time. If you've got a spare hour or whatever, to just sneak in and get some sneaky hobby done. That's what it's all about. So I don't have a drink with me today. It's late at night again. And I was thinking about doing this as an on the bench. I'm doing it in a slightly lower resolution, but we're going with an on the beach to try and give this series traction. Because I've got lots of zombies to do. You see, lots of zombies. And yeah. So grab your glues, brushes, paints, models, whatever else you need. Let's get to the bench. Let's go. Okay, so this is the bench. This is the state of play. This is the state of my palette here. Look at the state of that. I need to clean that sometime. I need to change. I need to change that into that. You know. But for now, it will do for now. Got some Longbeard Grey I'm going to add to my runners. What I've discovered with the Zombicide is the at least in the core box set, the models, they come in sets of four each pose, as it were. You know, there's 4 runners of this description here. There's 4 like that, exactly like there will be 4. You know, and the brute, like this lady here, there will be 4 just like her. You know, there's 4 each, so you know that's kind of how it works. So what I'm going to do is try and do them in groups of 4 now. So I'm all set up, ready to go. Talk about my day. Right, well. It's been quite an eventful day. Been to, I will say, I've been to a free music festival here in Seaton. It's called the Natural Seaton Festival. It's on over 3 days, and the band we went to see today was called the Sea Trees, and they were amazing. I thought they were brilliant. Having seen a lot of live bands over the years, I thought these guys were good. It was obvious to me, I don't know anything about them really, but it was obvious to me that 1, they've been doing it for a while, 2, they were well practiced in their trade, as it were. Do you know what I mean? You know, well used to it. They're well used to each other. Look like they could read each other well, especially the bass player and drummer. You know, it was all very good. The singer and like rhythm guitarist. He was very comfortable being a front man. You could see he's done it loads of times. I would say he's done it loads of times. You can always tell when... I can always tell when a band's a little bit more newer to it. It doesn't flow, so they're just not used to it. That's no disrespect to any band out there, especially for, got to learn somewhere, right? But you learn your trade, you know. You really have, and it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight. I would say, from personal experience, get 100 gigs under your belt, and then you're in, more or less, you found your kind of your flow, your rhythm, whatever you call it. You know, whether you settle down, that kind of thing. And one of the things that stood out for this band for me was, and I don't know whether they did this or not, but they portrayed it as they did. They seemed to be enjoying themselves. If the band looks like they're enjoying themselves, it makes you want to enjoy yourself a bit more. Do you know what I mean? it helps a band to get people up and dancing. Even I was throwing some shapes down, me. I'm a very different person on the other side of the stage, I'll tell you, to being on it. When I'm on the stage, I am full of confidence and not arrogance. That's the wrong word. But you portray an air of confidence, like super confident, without being cocky. I don't say I'm cocky, because I'm not. It's a difference. There is a vast difference. But when you're on stage, it's like, putting on a mask, playing a role, you're acting. That's what it's like. You're a different person. You become a different identity, and I've always felt more confident on stage than off stage, if that makes any sense. That's just me. And I've got to find where my non-oil is. Hell am I done with that? Oh, there it is. Yes, that's just me. So, people may agree or disagree with me on that one, but when I'm on stage and I'm playing, I love it. I absolutely love it, and that enjoyment, I think, shines through into your performance. If you're struggling with your performance, if you're not really into the song, for example, you feel it's a bit of a dirge or a drag or whatever, that shines through, and that rubs off on people. It really does. It's not so much a case of people willing you to get through the song anymore. It's like, well, let's get onto something a bit more, with a bit more energy, rather than listening to someone who can't wait for the song to end, almost. And I'm not saying that's how it is, but I've seen quite a few bands, let's just put it that way. I've seen quite a few things. I've seen stuff over the years. It's watching. I've seen a few acts here now in seated. I've changed my mind on, if I do decide to do anything here, I've decided I would change the name. So we were called Rorke's Drift, I've decided I would change the name of the act. To what? I have no idea. I have no clue. But I would definitely change the name. I mean, Rorke's Drift were a thing in Plymouth, and it was like my wife and I against the world. We faced adversity together. That's kind of where it all came from, really. I don't feel we're facing adversity anymore, so it wouldn't seem as relevant. Someone suggested, I think it was my wife, let's call ourselves Free Beer All Night. We'll always get a crowd, or free drinks all night. Yeah. I get the gag, but anyway. But we were at this live band event, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, they were playing all sorts, really. Yeah, they quite an eclectic mixture and a few mashups, that kind of thing. It was and so they get you going, and then they'd slow it down again. They knew their craft. This is what I mean. They'd slow you down with stuff like Coldplay and things, and get you going with other stuff, other dance, a bit of Oasis, and it was. It was enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Drummer did a solo. He was very good. You know, I was like, wow. I was super impressed. My arms felt knackered just listening to him. Oh my goodness. You know, his kick drum and kept that going as he was doing it. Oh, it's just really, really, really good, you know. I was super impressed. All in all, it was a good night. And as I say, even got up and danced at one point, a couple of songs. So like I said, I'm not the most confident behind, off the stage. I see some people, they just get up there and they just start grooving, and I'm like, I envy you your confidence to do that, you know. It looks like you're having such good fun. But you see, I get scared about, because of my MS, if I lose my balance, fall over, whatever, I don't know, puts that barrier up, that mental barrier. Plus it's knackering, isn't it, when you're dancing and you're moving around, hot. And it was done in the venue, the local tram station, which is quite a big station, but they cleared it out, erected a stage, and it was like, whoa, this is very professional, this is really good. And I just thought, well, this is free, don't have to pay for this. And to me, I think you'd be nuts not to take advantage of that. If I was back in Plymouth, you'd have to pay loads of money to go and see a band like that, of that calibre, because they were high quality. You'd have to go and pay loads just to entry fee. I've seen some awful acts, even like solo acts and that, so they're charging like 25-30 quid a pop to just get in, and I was like, really? I don't know what the Sea Trees charge for functions and venues, and that is what they do. And they were obviously paid for doing it, and the money comes from somewhere. But the fact that you've got that option there as a, stuff that's on in your local area, yeah, I think you'd be crazy not to take full advantage of it. Because like I say, in the city, it costs. Tomorrow there's an ABBA tribute band on, and I think they're playing at the station as well. I'm not personally. This is just subjective. I'm not that big into tribute bands, but if you're into ABBA, you like that. You'd be nuts not to go and see it. I've supported the Sea Trees tonight, so maybe I won't go to the ABBA tribute. But there's other stuff on. There's axe throwing, circus training, all sorts. All sorts of stuff. Yeah, so anyway, I had a real good time. And, to boot, discovered something in one of the local charity shop windows, which, I've done that, yeah. Discovered something in one of the local charity shop windows, which I've been looking for, so kind of manifested. And that's one of those chickens, like those porcelain chickens that you keep your eggs in. Manifested it. It's turned up. The thing is that the shop was closed at the time, and it's in the window with a price tag of £10 on it. So tomorrow, I'm going to get up early and get down there. I think the shop opens at 10, so I'll be there at 1 minute past just to get in and get that. Right. Okay. These walkers, I'd say, I really am not putting much effort into them at all. Just blobbing a couple of colours on and highlight, blah blah, whatever. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, basically. I put some blood on them and then jobs are good. And I really am not fussed about them. I put more time and effort into the survivors, and these. I am putting a bit more effort into these strange, these weird ones, like this lawnmower guy. I'm still working on, because that's just nuts. Zombie with a lawnmower strimmer thing. I've got all sorts of goodies. I've got a one-man band. Zombie to do. Obviously creates noise. Zombies follow. All the odd ones have got different things. Like there's Coffin Joe, like some zombie coming out of a coffin. So he's got extra armor. There's all sorts. There is literally all sorts. Got a crazy cat lady. Yeah, it's just good fun. So I've picked another 4 to do here. That's what I'm gonna do. Now, what I'm gonna do is put them on. You know, the usual holders. Actually, these bottle top holders. The first time I saw this technique years ago when I first started the hobby, basically, was Zombicide. It was the first edition, and then I believe it was General Splatten who was painting up his walkers for that, and he was putting them on bottle lids, and I thought, that is such a cool idea. I'm gonna use that. I thought it was so cool. Right, so that's the last of my blue tack there, but it's so cool because these other ones are going to be done. Yeah, they're cannon fodder, basically, walkers. No need to. And to be honest, I don't want them super detailed, brilliant painting. You know, if Richard Gray was to come and say, look, I'll paint your Zombicide walkers and zombies for you, I'd be like, no, actually, I want them a bit of a lower quality, so they stand apart from the survivors. You can paint the survivors if you want, but not the zombies. And I hope that makes sense to people, because it does to me. So, work out what I'm going to paint first on these. It's probably skin, as is often the case. Yeah, zombie skin. And how am I going to do this? That's the thing. See, I've got this. I mean, the original Zombicide paints, zombie skin, is, you know, it's that colour. It's kind of like model colour buff, which is nearly it. But I got this one, which is a bit darker. This is Vallejo game colour. It's called Dead Flesh. And that's darker again, you know. But I think I'm going to go with the buff one because it's a little bit lighter. I want these girls to have a bit of a lighter tinge to their skin. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, there we go. Pop that in there. Let's put some Lamia medium in with it. 2 drops of that. Brush that's wet. And then start painting. Okay. Now then. Now. So that was my day. Let's apologies for that. Right. So I am just, because she's got shorts on, see, so paint her legs and then I'll be able to paint her socks. Not sure, so a little bit more painting is going to be required on these models, I think. And that's some YouTube hobby news. I had a message from a well-known YouTuber in response to a message I put on one of their videos. It was from Mini Wargamer J, because I watch and rewatch his videos over and over again. I think they're great, you know, and I'm just thankful that he keeps them up on YouTube. You know, it's been a couple of years, you know, since any activity. There was a point, even if you recall, I wondered if he was still with us. You know, not to be morbid or anything, but you know, you kind of wonder, especially when there was no kind of hint or clue that, you know, he wasn't going to make any more videos. Did something go wrong with his camera? You know, that sort of thing. It was that sudden, you know. It's like, hold on, I've been doing these regularly. Now you're not doing them anymore. You know, that was the painting with Jay's. But anyway, I just on one of his old videos, I just put a comment saying, you know, please do more of these. And he responded, I'll see what I can do. And that was awesome, because one, it proves, well, one, is still alive, thank goodness. And 2, hey, he might even get around to doing some. That is brilliant. Well, I hope he does. I mean, but if he doesn't, you know, at least he's still alive and well. And I wish him well. I really wish him all the best. Because I thought, well, reasons why people would stop, you know, equipment broken, cameras and whatever, falling out of love with the hobby. Well, I wouldn't believe that of him. You know, if you said that to me, I would say, nah, that doesn't seem to ring true for him. Maybe that's some personal crises going on, you know, and like personal issues in life. And again, I would say, I don't think that would stop him, because he's gone through some pretty harsh stuff over the years and still kept going. So why would it be any different now? And you know, he's faced adversity, and you know, he's not had the best of luck, with YouTube. I mean, he started doing the Warp, which was like a paid channel back in the day. You could do that if you had enough subscribers, and I was subscribed to it because I thought it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I used to enjoy the content he put out on that. And then they stopped doing that YouTube. I was like, oh. And yeah, okay. So he made his paid content free, but obviously he stopped making paid content. And the thing is, when you're making paid content, you tend to try and put a little bit more effort into it. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I did wonder what has happened, and even if he doesn't make any more videos, the fact that he responded, I thought was just awesome. So thank you, Jay. Thank you for all the videos you've done. If you do decide to do more, great. But I am so thankful for the stuff you've given us. The fact that it's still there, you can access it. Thank you. Yeah, so I was just thinking about my evening. I had a really good time. Going back to that. I also had a chocolate milkshake and a flapjack whilst we was waiting for the band to start. So obviously it was dark by the time we finished, but the band had the brilliant light set up there. Full lights, PA, and like disco effect as well. So it was all good. All good. So by the end of the evening, it was well lit up there. Right, that's two. Trouble with these type of colours, they do dry real quick. You've got to keep it wet, Gonna cough. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, it's when I watch good live music like that, it makes me yearn the old days when I used to be in a band, And because some live bands have been together for years and years and years, longer than I was in a band for, and I think, wow, my hat's off to them. Good luck, that's brilliant. I'll tell you what I didn't envy them though. It's cleaning up after at the end of the night. They got to pack all their gear away because unless you become like pretty famous, you don't get roadies. You might get the odd fan help here and there, but I mean, to be truthful, end of the night. See, here's something that people don't realise with bands. When you've done your stuff and that, and you've done it, you tend to get people come up to you wanting to talk to you, and talk, and you kind of get the opinion of, well, either help me or stop talking so I can pack up and go home, because it's going to be like early hours by the time I get to bed. People want to talk to you and tell you their life history and talk about when they were in a band and all that kind of thing, and then like the half time it's the same. You get people wanting to talk to you and you're like, oh, I just want a break, and you go toilet and get a drink and whatever else. People just don't realise that unless you can factor that into your act for time-wise logistics, you know, it's a pain. It really is. So just making sure I've got all the areas there on that one. So last one of these girls for the skin. I think I'll do the socks next, and I'll do them white because that makes sense. The thing about tomorrow though, with the festival, is given rain, and that's a shame. Well, I mean, at least the music's indoors, so there is that. But it's such a shame, you know, when they're trying to do stuff like wild animal, exotic animals, and all that kind of stuff. Beekeeping, there's stuff about beekeeping. Yeah, there's, like I say, there's a guy doing a puppet show. There's like I say, there's circus trick training, and there's loads of stuff going on. I mean, tons of it. Yeah, but only the music really gets the shelter of the station building, so that is a great shame. That really is a great shame. Right, again, I will say it, not trying to make it super detailed. That's I think that's important in a game such as this. You know, it's even tempting to leave them black and white, you know, or greys, but just have a little bit more colour on them. Go back to my other walkers here. They don't have anything on them there, so I'm going to give them some Agrex Earthshade. That's what I'm doing. Put this on, and I might do a couple of blobs of blood here and there. Oh no, there is something I've got to do on these dudes, and that is they've got these pattern tops on, like diamond pattern jumper things. So I will do those. Right, so that's that. There's not a load of it there, really. It's not a great deal. Yeah. And the sooner I can get these done, the better. I'm actually more not worried, not afraid, more concerned with doing the abominations, because again, I want to do a good job with those, because they're different from like the main horde. So to me, that makes sense. Right, let those bad boys dry. As for the runners, I'm going to varnish these bad boys. Yeah. Then they can be taken off of their holders, and you know, where you go. Next forearm. This is what I call good work. You know, this is what these videos are all about. Getting stuff like this done. You know, it really is. I mean, you can always go back at a later date, should you so wish, and add more detail in if that's your bag. You know, you can do that. Totally do that. Will I? Probably not. No, probably not. Yeah, may do here and there. I think, to be honest, that's a more of a retirement thing. If I end up doing that. True. If Zombicide's still around, then it might be on, like, 5th edition or some stuff like that. But with these models, I might go back to them if I run out of stuff to paint. I might go back to old partially painted models and see if I can improve them. I've done that before. Not being a skinflint, but when times were harder, rather than buy a new model, find an old one, give it some new lease of life. So do that as well. Well, I did a good version of Rocket Man as well, the Sea Trees. I like that song by Elton John. I mean, I'm not a huge Elton John fan, but some songs of his I really like, and that is one of them. And I was pleased that the crowd got quite, involved and interactive with the singing along with that. Including Mrs. Mini Warzone. Like when he said, like, what's the next line? And she immediately, on one of the songs, I forget which one now, but she immediately jumped in with it and was like, yeah, and he's like, thank you. And it's just a bit of great interaction, It's good fun, it really is. And that's what makes the evening so good. And she loves to get involved. Like I say, I'm a different character off stage to on stage in a music event. Totally different. I'm quite shy off stage. But then, everyone's different, aren't they? Each to their own, I say. Right, what am I going to do next? Socks on those girls, I think I said I was going to do. Yeah, I think that might be favourite. So, well, I've got White Scar to use up here. It's not my favourite white paint. I've got others I generally go to before I go to that. But kind of like, I gotta use it. Gotta use it up. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna give it a bit of a shake. Yeah, I don't like the GW whites. They're quite chalky. Like a chalky effect sometimes, and I don't find that pleasant. But like I say, gotta use it. I'll use one of these stirring sticks. It's been left too long. White Scar. This is White Scar. And the Duncan Rhodes white paint is called White Star, I think it is. What is it called actually? Let's have a look. Yeah, White Star. Is the similarity intentional? Oh yeah, I think so. Absolutely, I think it is. So I'm mixing this with a stick now. I'm trying to do it manually. So, unless it's my imagination, it seems to me, folks, that living in Seaton, in the area of Seaton, they seem to have a lot more on than a lot of other places actually. But they do, excuse me, they do seem to do more things. There's a screening of Jurassic Park, which they're actually going to film it outdoors. They're going to erect an outdoor cinema. I might give that one a miss. Not because that one is a charged event. It's not a free thing. So, might give that one a miss. Not because I'm being tight, but I do kind of, sort of have to watch the pennies a little bit at this time of the month, if you know what I mean. I'm just really being sensible. I mean, yeah, the fact that I could be at home hobbying, it's got nothing to do with it. I mean, Mrs. Mini Warzone and our daughter, because she'll be up for that, she wants to come up for that. They still want to go and see it. I mean, that's fine. It's an old movie, but oldie but a goldie, and because we're like part of the Jurassic Coast, it's just give this a bit of a shake. It feels, proper that we should have dinosaur movies on here. I'll tell you what, the difference between in Seaton now to when I was here as a kid is vastly different when it comes to movies and things like that, because something like that would have only been available having to go to somewhere like Exeter to the cinema there. There wouldn't have been a outdoor cinema or anything, and plus we show films in our local theatre here now. They never used to do that, so that's kind of, it doubles up as the cinema and theatre. So it never used to do that, but I think that's a good thing that they do that now. Making use of it, because there used to be a cinema in Seaton that my parents used to go to. It's called the Regal. So going back to these zombie girls here now. I don't know what they are. Just girls. They're not like waitresses or anything, I don't think. Yeah, so now we don't have to rely on that. If that is your wish. I've got to go occupational health on next week. One of the days next week. I'm not looking forward to it because it means I've got to go down to Plymouth. I'll be honest, it's a ball ache. For probably something that's going to be less than an hour, I'm coming straight back. Reason is, there's nowhere, unless I book a desk somewhere, I'll have nowhere to work. And the thing is, if I do book a desk, it means that I've got to log in and be set up and register. Half an hour, you've got half an hour to do that, and you've got to book them from 7:30 onwards. You can't book a slot either. So that would mean having to leave here at least 5:30 in the morning. I just don't want to do that. I don't, I just don't. I'd rather work on, make up the time. So I'm going to come back, have my appointment, use my dinner break to partially make up the time. Actually, if I work on an extra half hour on Monday and Tuesday, That'll give me an hour. Extra hour to get back. Combine that with my dinner break. Yeah. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, from remembering my calendar, my works calendar, I think I've got a one-to-one on Friday. One-to-one is where you chat with your manager and you go through how you're feeling, how you're getting on, how do you think you're getting on, that kind of stuff. I think I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing okay. Truth be told, I'm surviving. So I've got a weekend now. Although I'm getting up early tomorrow to get that chicken. Porcelain chicken. I've spent a lot of money this weekend. Well, this week. But it's been my week off, and you spend money in some holidays, don't you, if you're on holiday? So I'm just thinking of it that way. Right. These are looking alright, actually. I mean, you get a bit of shade wash on the socks, so they'll look good, I think. I think so. Yeah, it's got a little bit chalky, but hey. Right, so... Oh, that's the other thing. The band we saw, the Sea Trees, from what I know, and I don't know much about them, but I heard they are a local band, so that's even better. Supporting a local band. They really were good. Right. As I say, I'm not trying to win awards on this one. Do I do white dots? White splodges on the dress? I don't think so. I don't think so, no. But what I might do, white buttons. Hey. White buttons. There we go. My goodness. She's a bit of a brute. Which is the point, I believe. Put something on. I think it's like she's carrying something. We need some shade wash on that, but I mean, that's not bad. That ain't bad at all. Yeah, I can live with that. Right, okay. So, what time have we got here now? So I know it goes. Are you joking me? 53 minutes. 53 minutes. That's time's up. Oh, I've got dirty hands. Are you kidding me? Zoom out. Wow, where did that time go? That was the fastest 50 odd minutes of hobby I think I can remember for some time. That has flown by, but yeah, got stuff done, which is the point, my friends. That's the point. But yeah, I'm chuffed with that. So 4 runners. So 4 runners off the bench. I mean, I've got loads more to bring on, but 4 walkers nearly off the bench. 4 walkers started, and a brute nearly off the bench. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That ain't bad. Well, thanks ever so much. I hope you got stuff done. Let me know what you're working on. I hope it went well for you. I hope your week's going well. I hope you're having a great day. Remember, all brushes lead to war. and I'll see you on another video. Bye for now, folks. Bye bye.